Well, Paul Wylie, welcome back to the skating lesson. I think you are everyone's favorite skater. Update us. How are you doing? How are you feeling? What is going on?
Well, I'm doing great, you know, and I'm taking one day at a time. I skated here at Neiman Champions. It was fun. I have my little defibrillator and ICD thing, and so thank you, Medtronic. Thank you, cardiologists, and most importantly, I think the guy that did the CPR. So Billy Griggs, this man who was part of a workout that I was doing in the early morning, said that guy doesn't have a heart rate, and so I'm going to do CPR now. And so then he did that for 5 minutes and had someone call 911, and then they came with the ambulance and then revived me. And so, I really wouldn't be here if it weren't for people who knew what they were doing.
Now talk us through this. How are you feeling? I saw you a week before this happened at Figure Skating in Harlem. You looked great.
Right.
How are you feeling then? Were there any signs?
No signs. And that's the thing about SCA, which is sudden cardiac arrest, which I learned is different from a heart attack. So a heart attack is when you have a blockage. SCA is more of an electrical glitch that you have. And it's the silent killer. So 300,000 people a year die of SCA, and you have no prior knowledge of what's going on. I mean, I had passed out in workouts before, so it's just called syncope, and so I had no idea that I would never wake up from something like that. But this is something that just happened, and it was very random, and they say that it can lie dormant for a long time. So be careful. And there's no real test for it. So luckily, I think that my message to people is learn CPR and don't run alone, and wear a road ID if you're going to do anything stressful.
So what has changed in your life since then? Obviously, it's something enormous to go through. So what has changed since then?
What has changed? I think perspective is a huge change for me. I think that I've really realized that there's only certain number of years that I have, and so I'm trying to be a better dad. I'm trying to be a better husband. I'm trying to be contribute in my life. Not that I wasn't before, but I think that it kind of underscores that. And I guess the last 6 months or whatever, I guess it hasn't been 6 months, not even 6 months, but the last few months I've been trying to just work out as much as I can and get myself back to normal so that my heart rate is, I can skate, that's a very important.
Let's talk about that, because you were back on the ice very quickly. You were doing seminars, I saw pictures of you doing spirals. It didn't look like you missed a beat, so how soon were you back on the ice after you were out of the hospital?
Well, after I was out of the hospital, I was on the ice for lessons, just sort of walking on the ice about 4 days later. And because I didn't really want to, I felt good, and I felt like I needed to keep pushing myself. And so I was already starting to walk the dog sort of the day I got home from the hospital. And even in the hospital I was walking around, but tried to skate as early as I could. And I had some things planned already, some lessons in Houston and then some seminars in Mexico, and so I had no choice. When I do a seminar, I'm skating an edge class and things like that. So it was just a gradual process, I suppose.
Now, will you be doing the Holiday Distance Show again with your family?
Yes, I am, and so that I'm excited about. It's in Oklahoma City this year, and we're a little behind with our choreography. It makes me nervous thinking about it, but yeah, it's so fun. It's like a family project, and so my kids love doing it, and it's a lot of stress for Dad, but we enjoy it. I think we'll look back, and there'll be great memories of how we worked together as a family, and obviously how the kids grew up and stuff like that. And I originally did it so that the kids could know my skating family and know what it was like to be backstage and get nervous for a show and participate with the spotlights and have to have something to get up for and then overcome once it was over. So anyway, we're doing it. It's going to be at the end of like sort of October 18th or 19th, something like that.
Well, Jenny always tells me about how Evie used to motivate her. So she's going to want to ask me, what did Evie do? Because sometimes Jenny will like me to get a little bit angry with her because she will say that Evie motivates her more in life than anyone.
That's funny.
So what is your best Evie story, Evie memory?
Well, I remember, so there was a year, I mean, in terms of that, like, so I mean, I think Evie learned from his father. So Evie's father was a hockey coach, and I think that hockey teams tend to be motivated sometimes a little bit by that anger gene, you know? And so this was the year that I was taking full-time courses at Harvard, and I had decided that my schedule had to be, my classes had to be all in the morning, so I would be skating in the afternoon with all the other kids. So it would be like mayhem on the ice, and I would take Wednesdays off. And so I came in, and I don't think Evie thought I was really taking it very seriously. And so at one point, I was working on triple Lutz, and so Evie like literally turned away, and then I would do the jump, and he said, "Well, I didn't see it." And I said, "What do you mean you didn't see it? I did it fine." And he's like, "Oh, I didn't see it. I was turned away." And then he would go turn away again. I'd be like, "I didn't see it." And so I don't know. It was a way of sort of triggering me, I suppose, to just keep doing it so that I would learn consistency. But I was like, "Okay, this time I want you to watch what I'm doing, please." You know, I mean, I think Evie was a brilliant coach and is a brilliant coach, and Mary, of course. And the two of them together made an amazing team. And the fact that they were able to kind of be this yin and yang couple really got me to the point where I was able to skate as well as I did in the Olympics. So.
Well, we love seeing you skate tonight. We wish you the best of luck, and we hope many more years of skating. Thanks so much, Paul.
Hey, thank you.